Buying and owning a 3rd gen Toyota 4Runner. In this video, we'll talk about the different trim levels, the different amenities that a limited edition Toyota 4Runner has, and my experience in owning this vehicle for the past 10 months. There were different trim levels like the base model 4-wheel drive, the SR5, and the Deluxe. This one in this video is a limited edition. Majority of the 4Runners, regardless of the trim level, came with the 3.4 liter V6 with the automatic transmission. You could also get the 3.4 liter with the stick shift, or a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder with automatic or manual transmission. So what comes with the limited edition 4Runner? Leather seats, wood trim, a rear locker, and a push button 4-wheel drive system. The biggest issue with these Toyotas is if you're buying one in the Midwest or if you're in the Rust Belt, check the frame. I've had to walk away from a lot of 4Runners because of the frames. It's a Toyota box frame design, which Toyota's been using for a long time, which has shown to be a problem because what happens is dirt sits inside the frame and rusts it out from inside out. Now, the problem areas on 4Runners, or even any Toyota, so pretty much this corner right here, trailing arms usually rust out. This one has surface rust, it's not rusting through, but I've seen a couple where this is literally all rusted out and this is detached and hanging. So that's the problem area I see usually. Also on the cross members, so anywhere where there's any welds on it tend to rust out, and they're essential parts of the frame. If you can weld, then okay, go for it. But if you have no mechanical experience and you see a problem with these frames, just walk away because it's literally a headache. Axle went out. Now with the axle, I think that's just something that comes with mileage and age, along with preventative maintenance. I think people just don't check the gear fluid, or don't ever check it, or don't ever change it, and what happens is they wear out and they go out. The axles tend to leak, and just these vehicles are already pretty low maintenance, and what happens is people don't take care of them and maintenance goes past due, and what they don't see is the axle seals go out, and just like on that side, it's leaking axle fluid all over my drum and onto the wheel. So a combination of that burns out bearings, messes up your axle. There's different trim levels, and this is the limited compared to the base models. It comes with 4-wheel drive. It also comes with a rear locker. For people who are into off-roading, this is a great stock addition to your vehicle because then you don't have to spend money on putting a locker on. To engage the locker, put it into neutral. 4 low automatically puts you into 4-wheel drive. You press the button, and then the diff light comes on. Put it into gear, and your diff's locked with the press of a button. Then to disengage it, you go backwards. Another thing to look for in a high mileage Toyota 4Runner. No, it's not the mud, because that was me. Check the trans fluid. This was the one thing I didn't check when I bought this thing. I wish I would have. What happens is there's a trans cooler, but it's integrated into the radiator, and what happens is the lines rust inside the radiator, and what happens is from the pressure that the radiator puts onto the trans cooler, coolant goes into the trans instead of the trans fluid going back into the trans, so it mixes. What you end up happening is, if you check this, it should be, you know, trans fluid color, but if you pull it out and it looks like a pink milkshake, then you got water in your system, and what ends up happening is you're gonna have to flush the system and hope that your trans clutches didn't lose too much clutch material. The solution to the trans strawberry milkshake or pink milkshake is just to replace the radiator. Got the pink milkshake immediately right off the lot when I bought it, and what ended up happening, I flushed it a few times and it was working. working good. And one day I parked on the side of the road, dropping someone off, and I put it back in drive. Check engine light came on, and my car just wasn't going anywhere. Immediately I thought, trans is blown, I gotta get rid of this thing. Then I looked at the engine code, and turns out it was a solenoid in the trans. All I did was have to flush the system again, which was drop all the fluid and replace the solenoid. And I think that's with a combination of the coolant mixing with the trans. And so I changed the solenoids, which is really easy. Drop the trans pan, you drop the trans filter, and they're right there. There's 3 solenoids. And ever since then, I haven't had a problem. And hopefully it stays like that. And I really wish that that was something I would have checked when I was purchasing the car. Valve covers, they leak a lot. That just comes with buying a higher mileage vehicle. Yeah, they leak right onto the manifold. Make sure to check the rockers, they usually rust. On the trim level, they have this trim piece that covers the rust. This one has a rust, but it's not extreme where I'm worried about it, and you can't see it, so even better. The value on these vehicles, you can look at Kelley Blue Book, but what I see are the model years between 96 and about 99. Those 3 years, they go for around $4,000, give or take, depending on the mileage, of course. After owning this vehicle for 10 months and putting on about 20,000 miles, all I've done is replace the radiator, do a trans flush, replace the transmission shift solenoids, replace the rear end. Other than that, it's been pretty low maintenance. If you're looking for something with all the capabilities of an SUV and it'll take you places like off-road or go through the city in traffic, you'll be able to accomplish that with this in comfort, reliability, and enough space for an outdoor adventure or for groceries. Thank you for watching.